Welcome to episode 23 of Carson Now's Weekly Pulse podcast. This week's episode is a Thanksgiving special edition.
It sure is. And honestly, looking at the stories we've been covering, the sense of community out there is just, it's palpable.
It really is. We're airing this on Wednesday morning, November 26th, and our mission today is really to set you up for the entire holiday.
Right. We're going to look back at the biggest community stories we've reported on, starting from last Friday, the 21st, all the way through yesterday.
And then we'll give you the essential calendar to help you plan your Thanksgiving day and, the whole weekend that follows.
It's going to be a packed one.
It is. But first, before we dive into all of that, we absolutely have to thank the sponsor that made this special edition possible. This special edition is sponsored by Nevada Dance Company and The Nutcracker.
A true holiday classic.
It is. We'll have all the details later in the show on how you can catch it this weekend. It's the perfect way to kick off the festive season.
For sure. So where should we start?
Let's jump straight into what feels like the heart of the matter right now. Community compassion. The season of giving is in full swing.
It is. And, the efforts we've seen this past week have had some really remarkable results. But they've also shined a light on some hard truths about the level of need in our community right now.
Absolutely. Let's start with a huge success story. We reported on this on Sunday, November 23rd, the High Five Turkey Drive.
Ah, yes, the annual event over at Nissan Carson City.
Exactly. And it's one of those things that really depends on community spirit. And, despite the soggy conditions, the turnout was just fantastic.
It was more than fantastic. It was critical. The numbers we reported really tell the story. Donors gave, get this, 131 turkeys.
Wow.
And on top of that, they raised nearly $2,500 between the event itself and, online giving.
And that mix of actual turkeys and cash donations is just so important for these organizations.
It's everything. Because when you factor in the matching donation from Nissan Carson City,
yeah,
those efforts combined mean that our local nonprofit, Fish,
Friends in Service Helping.
Right. They now have around 532 turkeys for the holiday season.
That is a massive number. What does that actually translate to, though, in terms of real impact for people here?
Well, it translates directly into security for hundreds of families. Those donations fuel the food baskets that Fish gives out for both Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Okay.
And specifically for this Thursday, 50 of those turkeys are going directly to the annual community Thanksgiving dinner.
So that ensures that big community feast is well supplied.
Exactly. But here's where it gets really interesting and where we need to look a little deeper. We spoke with Jim Peckham. He's the executive director of Fish.
Right.
And he pointed out a really profound challenge that's kind of hiding behind this successful drive. The demand for support isn't just high, it's rising fast.
So even with all this generosity, the need is actually growing.
It is. He noted a significant spike in new clients. And he specifically mentioned recent disruptions to federal food programs like SNAP.
Ah, the reapplication process. We've been hearing about that.
Yeah, and it's not just a local thing. It's a systemic issue, and it puts immediate stress on community groups. When those benefits get delayed, families who were just scraping by suddenly have this huge hole in their grocery budget.
And Peckham pointed out that while the benefits might get restored eventually, the process is taking time. So the crisis for these families is right now.
Exactly. He said the demand is higher than they've seen in years. This is where organizations like Fish become that crucial stopgap when the big government machinery slows down.
It really shows you where the burden falls, doesn't it? Right onto these local donation-funded services.
It does. And what's so fascinating about Fish is that it's not just a food pantry. Peckham was very clear about this.
Their model is different.
It is. It's focused on long-term sustainability. They provide a whole program aimed at stabilization, mental health support, and life skills training. The goal is to help people become self-sufficient.
So it's not just about giving a meal today. It's about helping people so they don't need emergency services next year.
Precisely. It's the difference between treating a symptom and, treating the root cause.
And that brings us back to the donations. If you still want to help, what's the best way?
Well, right now, Fish actually prefers monetary donations over just random food items.
That's a key point. Why is that?
It's a logistics thing. Peckham mentioned that sometimes they have way too much of one thing, like macaroni and cheese.
Right.
But they'll be critically low on something else, like peanut butter or fresh produce. Cash give them the flexibility to buy exactly what they need when they need it.
It's the perfect example of why flexible funding is just the backbone of efficient charity.
Right.
So if you want to help, you can donate online, or you can take donations to their location at 138 East Long Street.
Exactly.
Okay, so moving from that broad community support to something a little more targeted, we reported on Monday about another incredible program, this one aimed at our youth. The Wild Foundation's in-school pantry program.
Oh, this is such a brilliant concept.
It really is.
Yeah.
Because it tackles a very sensitive issue, child food insecurity, but it does it with so much dignity.
Right. The whole goal is to give local students access to groceries right there, inside their own school. It gets rid of so many barriers, so much of the stigma.
And the model itself is designed to empower the kids. They actually get to hand select the items.
Yeah, based on their own preferences, dietary needs, even their family's ability to cook certain things. It completely changes the dynamic from just, receiving charity to accessing resources that actually fit their lives.
Giving a child that sense of choice is it's huge. I mean, letting them pick out something they know their little brother will eat or that their mom knows how to make. The founder, Kim Cox, said the goal was to create a program that not only fills pantry shelves, but fills hearts.
And that dignity piece is it's the cornerstone of effective aid.
So where does the program stand right now?
It's currently operating inside one Carson City elementary school.
Okay.
But they have very clear, very ambitious plans to expand.
But that expansion depends on community support, right? It's all locally funded.
100%. Every single dollar is an investment that stays right here in our community, supporting local kids and families.
So if they want to scale up from one school to many, what do they need right now?
Well, they're actively looking for volunteers, for one thing. People to help assemble meal kits. They also need local businesses to act as food drop-off locations.
Okay.
And critically, they need donors, people who can sponsor meals or even entire pantry shelves. Building that infrastructure to go from one school to many, well, it takes a real community commitment.
A community-powered safety net. I like that.
That's exactly what it is. And that spirit of supporting vulnerable children is powerfully mirrored in the work of the Ron Wood Family Resource Center.
Their annual holiday fundraising year-end campaign, we also reported on that on Monday.
We did. Their focus is on families in crisis, children who have experienced abuse or neglect, and foster youth all across northern Nevada.
And they've got some great corporate sponsorship this year.
They do. The Campagna Auto Group, so that's Carson City Toyota and Capital Ford, is generously supporting the campaign. That kind of private sector buy-in is huge.
It really shows an understanding that a healthy community and a successful business go hand in hand.
For sure. And that support is so crucial because the need is just growing. The executive director, Scott Morgan, said they're seeing families coming to them who never, ever thought they'd need help.
And the numbers back that up.
We do. In 2024 alone, the center helped over 55,000 individuals with basic needs. They supported 156 Nevada foster youth, and they helped 656 kids living in abusive or neglectful homes.
Those numbers are just staggering. It's so easy to get lost in a number that big.
It is, and that's why it's so important to break down what a donation actually does.
Let's do that. So a small donation, say $25, what does that do?
$25 provides food for a struggling family. A huge impact for a relatively small amount.
Okay, what if you can give more, like $200?
$200 funds pest control for a child living in unsafe conditions. And, that's not a luxury. That's a basic health and safety need that so many of us just take for granted.
Wow. It really speaks to the level of crisis these families are in.
It does. And then you can see how the support pivots to long-term independence. $500 helps a foster child get a driver's license.
Which, for a foster youth, is everything. It's a job, it's college, it's freedom.
It's a ticket to breaking that cycle of dependence. And for those who can give even more, $1,000 or more provides a bed and bedding for a child who might be sleeping on the floor.
Just a basic human dignity.
Exactly. But there was another really interesting need we reported on, something that shows the difference between frontline aid and infrastructure.
The van.
The van. They have an urgent, specific need for a utility van. It's valued at $78,000.
$78,000. That is a massive operational expense. I mean, let's put that in perspective. If $25 provides food, that van costs the same as over 3,000 food packets.
Right.
So why is that piece of equipment so critical?
Because without it, the whole system of delivering that aid becomes unstable. A van means they can do consistent food pickups from big distributors. It means they can move materials between sites. It keeps the whole operation from getting bottlenecked by unreliable transport.
It's a perfect reminder that charity requires both compassion and logistics.
You got it. And if you or someone you know needs to access those services, their emergency food bank is open Monday to Friday, 10 o'clock a.m. to 2 o'clock p.m.,
Yeah.
and they pride themselves on having no wait time for emergency help.
That's incredible. Okay, one last piece on this community giving deep dive, an update on the HUD GS for Homeless Winter Drive.
Yes, this is run by the St. Teresa of Avila Conference, St. Vincent de Paul Society, and we covered their update on Monday.
They're at the halfway point of their drive, right? It runs from October 1st to December 31st.
They are. And they've already made some serious headway in providing not just comfort, but actual protection against the cold that's coming.
So what have they accomplished so far?
They've already purchased over $6,000 worth of new winter coats, gloves, hats, and socks.
And emphasizing new is important for dignity.
It is. And they're sourcing it all locally from stores like Big Five, Burlington, JCPenney, and Walmart, which is great because it keeps the money right here in the local economy.
And they're not just buying it, they're getting it out there effectively.
Very effectively. We reported they've already delivered $3,800 worth of new winter clothing directly to their allies.
So who are these allies?
Well, it's a really strategic list. Carson City Human Services, the Carson Tahoe Regional Hospital Emergency Department, Mallory Behavioral Health Center, and the Nights Off the Street Warming Center.
So they're going to the exact places where the most vulnerable people are.
Exactly. The ER sees people with exposure. The warming center is where they sleep. It's about getting that gear into the hands of the people who need it to survive the winter here.
So what's their current goal? What are they asking for?
They're seeking $15,000 in total monetary donations to buy the rest of the gear they need for the adult homeless population.
And to put that cost in perspective,
A single $100 donation supplies one winter coat, 2 pairs of gloves, 2 hats, and a dozen pairs of socks. Enough to get one person through the season.
that is highly efficient.
It is. And the overall goal of the HUD GS for Homeless Drive is just so direct, so powerful. It's 0 winter deaths among the homeless population due to exposure.
Wow, that really frames it not as a charity initiative, but as a matter of public health and survival.
It's exactly what it is.
Okay, let's shift gears a little bit. Let's move from that intense need for support to some of the broader holiday prep and other local headlines from the last few days.
All right, let's do a quick roundup. First, just a reminder that last Friday, November 21st, was the last chance to drop off turkeys at the BAC campus for the annual Charlie Abowd Memorial Food Drive.
A great tradition that helps so many.
For sure. And we also had reports on Saturday the 22nd about the high need for Thanksgiving sides in our rural communities, specifically Dayton, Silver Springs, and Yerington.
It's so important to remember those smaller communities.
It is. On a lighter note, we had a fun story about Carson City School District students celebrating Thanksgiving a little early.
Always fun to get a head start on the feast.
Definitely. And speaking of seasons changing, Heavenly at Tahoe's South Shore plan to open for skiing and riding on Monday, November 24th.
So winter is officially here for the sports enthusiasts.
It is. And for those getting ready for Christmas, tree permits are now available for both the Humboldt-Toyabe National Forest and the BLM Carson City District.
A great family tradition. And we had a moment of national pride too, right?
We did. Nevada's Silver Bell Capitol Christmas tree officially arrived in Washington, D.C. We reported that on Saturday. It's always so cool to see a piece of Nevada representing on the national stage.
It really is. Okay, now, despite all the holiday cheer, there was one major non-holiday story we recorded on Monday that is a really stark reminder of the dangers of our mountains, especially now.
Yes, a critical cautionary tale. The Douglas County Sheriff's search and rescue successfully located a lost hiker.
This was near the Tahoe Rim Trail and Castle Rock Trailhead.
Right. The hikers started their trip on Saturday, but they got disoriented and lost the trail. They ended up having to spend the night outside.
In near freezing, if not below freezing conditions.
Absolutely. Thankfully, they were found and taken to Barton Memorial for treatment for exposure.
And Sheriff Dan Coverly's comments on this were pretty chilling.
They were. He said without hesitation that the individual would likely have died if they hadn't been rescued when they were.
It's just a stark reminder that even on a popular trail, the combination of late fall weather, short days, and one wrong turn can become deadly in just a few hours.
It really underscores why things like the HUD GS for homeless drive are so critical. Exposure is a real and present danger here.
Absolutely. Okay, and just a quick final housekeeping note before we get to the fun stuff. The road report for the week of November 24th through the 30th is out, so if you're traveling for the holiday, check carsonnow.org to make sure your route is clear.
Good call.
All right, Let's pivot completely. We've talked about the giving. Now let's talk about the celebrating. This is your official calendar for Thanksgiving Day, Thursday, November 27th.
Let's do it. So if you want to start your morning by earning those calories, you have a couple of great options.
First up, the big one.
Oh.
The Carson City 11th Annual Turkey Trot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kicking off bright and early in front of the governor's mansion. The whole event runs from 8 o'clock a.m. to 11:30 a.m.
The 5K and the 8K run walk both start at 8:30 a.m.
And for the kids, which is always fun, the Gobble Wobble Fun Run starts just a bit later at 8:45 a.m. It's a great family event, sponsored by St. Teresa of Avila Catholic School.
Okay, so after you've run, if you want something a bit more meditative to start your day.
You could head over to the Grassroots Yoga Center for their Thanksgiving Gratitude Yoga class. That runs from 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 a.m.
And it's focused on heart-opening poses and reflection, which is really nice for Thanksgiving.
It is. And it's also a way to keep giving back. The class is donation-based. You can bring cash or food,
Right.
and it all benefits our rural food banks.
Tying it all back together, I love that. Okay, running and stretching are done. Now it is time to feast.
Absolutely. Let's start with a really cool community hangout option, Friendsgiving at the Tap Shack.
Oh, this sounds fun.
It's a turkey potluck and a football watch party all day long, from 10 o'clock a.m. to 9 o'clock p.m.
So how does it work?
The Tap Shack cooks the bird, and you just bring your favorite side dish, snack, or dessert to share. It's a real community-style feast.
Perfect for people who don't want to cook a whole turkey, but still want that homemade feel. And I'm guessing football is a big part of it.
A huge part. Doors open at 10 o'clock and for the first game, and they'll have all the Thanksgiving games on the big screens.
Nice. Now, for those who want a more traditional sit-down meal without any of the work.
7 Grill at the Federal Hotel is offering a traditional Thanksgiving feast. They're serving from 10:30 a.m. all the way to 8 o'clock p.m.
A great option if you don't want to do dishes.
For sure. And then, maybe the most important meal of the day, continuing that spirit of giving, is the Community Thanksgiving Dinner, hosted by Fish.
This is free and open to absolutely everyone.
Everyone. It's at the Plaza Conference Center on East 9th Street, and it runs from 11 o'clock a.m. to 2 o'clock p.m.
And it's a full meal.
A full turkey dinner with all the sides, dessert, and drinks cooked by the Busboy Mobile Cuisine. No tickets, no reservations. You just show up.
That is just wonderful. Okay, so after the feasting, what's happening in the afternoon and evening?
There are a few low-key options. The Carson City Senior Center is hosting Thursday afternoon bingo from 1:15 o'clock p.m. to 3:15 o'clock p.m.
A classic.
It is. And for those who want to volunteer, Computer Corps has an opportunity workshop for volunteers from 2:30 p.m. to 3:15 p.m.
And in the evening?
You can get some laughs at the Brewery Arts Center. Proscenium Players, Inc. is hosting improv at the BAC in the Maisie Black Box Theater at 6 o'clock p.m.
And for the musicians?
It's open mic Thursdays at Polecat Tavern. Music starts at 6 o'clock p.m. Keith Allen Barnett or Mongo Music will be hosting, ready for you to plug in.
What a packed day. It really shows how this community is all about both charity and celebration.
It does. But the holiday weekend is just getting started. The calendar for this weekend is loaded.
All right, let's jump into the weekend calendar roundup then, covering Friday, November 28th through Sunday the 30th, and then we'll wrap with the weather.
Sounds good. Let's start with Friday, November 28th, Black Friday. But it's not just about shopping.
No, it's the triumphant return of a holiday classic sponsored by our friends at the Nevada Dance Company.
That's right. The Nevada Dance Company presents The Nutcracker at the Carson City Community Center Bob Boldrick Theater.
The show runs all weekend, Friday through Sunday. The main performance on Friday night is from 7 o'clock p.m. to 9 o'clock p.m.
But what's really cool, and a great sign of community access, is the special performance on Friday morning.
The sensory-friendly performance.
Exactly. It's a one-act, one-hour version held from 11 o'clock a.m. to 12 o'clock p.m. It's designed to be accessible for all audiences.
That is fantastic. Okay, so Black Friday also kicks off the official Christmas season in other ways, right?
It does. The FCA Lift Christmas Tree Lot opens today. It's next to the Ormsby House, running from 10 o'clock a.m. to 6 o'clock p.m. That lot will be open until December 21st.
And for art lovers.
Today's the day. The entry period to win an original painting by Sora artist Dennis Garcia starts today at Charlie B. Gallery. You can enter from 11 o'clock a.m. to 6 o'clock p.m.
What about Friday night? Any other activities?
Oh, yeah. The Brewery Arts Center has an adult paint and sip with an end-of-fall theme. That's from 6:30 o'clock p.m. to 9 o'clock p.m.
And if you just want to connect over coffee in the morning,
Cafe Connections is at Comma Coffee from 9 o'clock a.m. to 11 o'clock a.m.
All right, let's hit the Friday night music scene. It looks like there's a lot happening.
There is. The Joe Loshu Trio is playing classic rock at the Tap Shack from 7 o'clock p.m. to 10 o'clock p.m.
And down the street, the Craig and Russ duo will be at Gina's Good Life Music and Lounge from 7:00 p.m. to 11:30 p.m.
And if you want to be the star, you've got karaoke options.
2 of them.
Yep, it's the fourth Friday of the month, so Polecat Tavern has karaoke Friday night starting at 7 o'clock p.m.
And Saltwater Tavern also has karaoke starting a bit later at 9:00 p.m.
Plenty of options to kick off the weekend.
For sure. Okay, rolling into Saturday, November 29th, Small Business Saturday.
The day to get out there and support our amazing local artists and shops.
And Artsy Fartsy Art Gallery is hosting a special event for it.
They are, from 10 o'clock a.m. to 5 o'clock p.m. A lot of their artists will actually be there in person, which is a great chance to find some really unique gifts.
And if you need a coffee break from all that shopping,
Cafe Connections will be at Schatz Bakery in the morning from 9 o'clock a.m. to 11 o'clock a.m.
Now, Saturday night looks like it has some big entertainment.
It does. The featured event is at Max Casino. It's Erica Malone's Eminence, a tribute to Janet Jackson. That's from 8 o'clock p.m. to 11 o'clock p.m.
And if you'd rather have a DJ,
DJ Ricky Rick will be spinning at Gina's Good Life Music and Lounge from 7:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. So yeah, a full weekend of music.
Okay, wrapping up the calendar with Sunday, November 30th.
We don't have any specific Sunday-only events we reported on this week, but it's important to remind everyone that the Nutcracker continues its run all through Sunday.
A perfect way to end the holiday weekend.
For sure. Okay, so if you're heading out for any of this, you need to know the weather.
Let's hear the forecast for Friday through Sunday.
All right. Starting on Friday, November 28th, expect mostly sunny skies, which is perfect. A high near 59 degrees. Then overnight, it gets mostly cloudy with a low around 29.
A pretty big temperature drop.
It is. Then for Saturday, Small Business Saturday, still mostly sunny, but a bit cooler. A high near 51. The low overnight will be around 29 again with partly cloudy skies.
And Sunday?
Sunday will be mostly sunny again with a high near 47 degrees.
Yeah.
And Sunday night will be chilly, a low around 26 degrees.
So a beautiful, crisp fall weekend, but a good reminder that winter conditions are definitely here.
For sure. You know, as we wrap up this Thanksgiving special, I think the biggest takeaway from the last few days is just, it's the strength of this community's spirit of giving.
Absolutely, but it's coupled with this critical and growing need for strategic support. It's both things at once.
It is. We saw the amazing immediate results of the Turkey Drive for Fish, but then we also analyzed the deep systemic work of the Ron Woods Center.
Right, addressing everything from a child's safety to a foster youth's independence.
And we reflected on that crucial, life-saving mission of the HUD GS for Homeless Drive, that goal of 0 winter deaths. It's powerful.
It really shows that Carson City steps up. But it also shows that the need isn't just about one holiday meal. It's about sustaining these complex programs all year long.
And that takes both cash and infrastructure.
Well, it makes us proud to be your one-stop for Carson City news and analysis. If you want more detail on any of these stories, including how to donate or volunteer, please check out carsonnow.org.
That's also where you can read all the full stories we talked about and submit your own community news and events for us to share. We really encourage you to participate and stay informed.
From everyone here at Carson Now, we wish you a wonderful and a safe holiday weekend.
Happy Thanksgiving from everyone at Carson Now. We hope you enjoy the time with your family and friends.